What is up, guys? Dad Dash here, and I'm coming to you with a ride along. It's a Wednesday, and today I've decided I'm going to take you guys along with me, and I'm going to be using my iPhone. So here's the setup right here. I've got my iPhone 13 Pro, which will be running the iPhone or the DoorDash app. And then I've got my iPhone 14 Pro, which is, and again, I choose to run all the other apps or make the lion's share of the work be done on the most current phone. And this will be running Uber, GrubHub, Spark, Roadie, Instacart, and Shipped. And a little bit of potentially point pickup if I get in range of a point pickup area. But I will be doing a lion's share of the work on that. And then, of course, as always, I will be, moving apps over here as needed as I'm working. So if I'm on here with Uber, I'll be moving GrubHub over to here, vice versa. And it's kind of an interchangeable flow, which is the flow work that I do for when I'm using my dual iPhone setup. And that's the ideal way to work when using iPhones. So guys, I'm going to be, highlighting that, going over it with you, showing you how I work it, showing you how I do multiple apps with using iPhones. Obviously, I've grown to prefer Samsung and the experience that you have on a Samsung phone due to the multitasking features, due to the driver helper apps, etc., etc. But I also do know that more people have iPhones than Android phones out there that are working gig work. So therefore, it's a good topic to have, which is how do you do multiple apps and how easy is it or how hard is it? The worst part about it is, if I'm going to share it with you, is the fact that you feel the busyness more. It feels busier to you. It feels more stressful to you because you're having to deal with every order, every bad order that comes up, every decline is requiring you to interact with that decline. Whereas it definitely feels like, it feels slower. The slowness is much more apparent when you have a utility helper app that can turn down a majority of the orders that you don't want to see. So you're only looking at orders when they qualify for you to look at them, and then you put your eyes on them and see what's going on. And then if you use the auto accept features on there as well, then you will, have the auto acceptance occur. And again, like I said, it really takes down a lot of the work, a lot of the danger, a lot of the necessity of trying to balance. How can I drive my vehicle? Sometimes you're pulling over when you're using the iPhones, and it definitely feels like it's a lot more work intensive than when I'm using my Samsung setup. But I want to do this. I want to videotape it. I want to show you guys what I do, because I do believe my workflow does flow nicely, and it can take that feeling of that stressful feeling. It does take a little bit of the stress out of it. Not completely, not like if you have a utility helper app or you're using some of the features that Samsung phones bring to the table, but it certainly is a nice bridge. So guys, with that said, if you're new to the channel, I'm Dad Dash. My name is Steve. I'll take you along with me, and I show you my experience with the gig economy. I give you tips, tricks, strategies, talk about different things, try to figure out the best tech for you to use, because this is a tech-related job. Go over my thoughts, theories, and everything gig work. If that's something that interests you, hit that subscribe button. Help me get to 500 subscribers, and then next we're going to try to go for 1,000 subscribers and hopefully get this channel going on YouTube. My goal is to try to generate a network of drivers here that we can use each other to help each other get better, share information, and help each other make money. So with that said, guys, I appreciate you watching. I do want to let you know I already did an order today. Before I even did the intro, it was an UberEats order. I'll jump in and show you guys, or go over it with you. It wasn't a great order. It was, and I'll show it to you, $6.09. There's the offer screen. So it's $6.09, $4.09 base pay, $2 tip. The reason why I took it is I dropped my son at the Sitters, and literally I was driving in the same direction, and I was picking it up from a Sheetz, and right next to the Sheetz is a couple of factories, and I was dropping it off at a factory there. It took a little longer than I would have liked because there was some confusion over where I had to drop it off. So the order value on the deal was really not very strong. It was only $11.79, but there's a lot more value in that because I was going to stop at Sheetz anyways, get myself a beverage, and I was heading in that direction anyway, so it was like, why not pick up the $6? It really did not. It really doesn't. This is one of those orders that is just not representative of the value that it is, because it's just an opportunity to get $6, monetize some of the miles that you're going to travel anyways, and get some money on the board to start out. So that's where we stand, guys. I am actually back at my house because it's very, very slow out here. I'm not scheduled to go on DoorDash till 11. UberEats sent me nothing after that. GrubHub sent me nothing after that. Instacart really doesn't have anything going on with it. Roadie right now has a couple of general merchandise gigs, and it looks like there's an extra gig there that got added. They had a gig on there that they were wanting me to do, that was 72 pounds, and I wasn't even going to attempt to do anything with that. So right now, Roadie doesn't have much going on. Shipped really has nothing much going on in my area. So it's just kind of slow. It's that area. And Spark right now hasn't sent me anything. So slow times. I'm hoping that in a few minutes, about 20 minutes from now, things will speed up and I will get back on the road. And when I do, guys, I will come in and update you as soon as we are on our next order, and hopefully get on with the lunch period here, and get some more money on the board. So with that said, guys, like I said, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. I appreciate you watching, and I will be back as soon as I have an order to report on. So I thought I'd give you a little preview of the setup here of how this thing's looking. Now, this is what we've got going on here. As I mentioned, this is my personal iPhone, so this is not in the mix at all. That's just there for music, personal calls, etc. But what we have going on here, this is the iPhone 13 Pro, and this one here is going to be the one that I'm going to be running DoorDash on all day long. And then this phone right here is my main hub. As you can see, you swipe up, swipe down. Here is the multi-app platform that I have set up, and you can see I can access all the apps. I still stay signed in on both phones for DoorDash, so I can switch between the two if I need to, if there's a situation that does it, because essentially what you should ultimately be doing is trying to get a flow between the phones. Because it's going to start out, this will be where DoorDash will be, or at least one of the phones will have DoorDash up, and then the other phone will be swapping between the apps. I'll put my second in place. If there's a particular app that's popping off, I'll get it going. Like, for instance, if Uber starts popping off, I'll go ahead and keep Uber up. But the key functionality here is to operate out of that folder, and as you can see, as I go in, check Instacart, swipe up, I'm out. And that's basically the key functionality. I will leave it on that folder and make sure my notifications are turned up, so that if something pops up, all I got to do is just tap that. And as you can see, it tap this has the dynamic island, and I can tap the island and it will bring me right in. But I will operate primarily out of this folder and, keep that up. Over here, DoorDash will operate. Now, obviously, because of the fact that I have to decline and I have to do things, I will, if DoorDash starts when it's busy, and I know DoorDash is really rocking, and this is more of peek at the shopping apps and get the occasional Uber and GrubHub order that will come through, I will bring this into gorilla position, as I call it. Basically, the main position. The position that is going to be the one that's going to get the most action and activity, and that way I can just be going in and tapping turn down, decline, and screenshotting right there. And then if I need to, you can actually I have it set up, as you can see, to back tap twice, and it will well, it should eventually if it registers it, but you'll see I have it tap 2 taps, get me a screenshot. So if I need to pick it up in a pinch and I'm in traffic or whatever, I can just pick it up real quick, tap it, and then boom, turn it down. So that's the setup here, guys. That's what we're going to be rolling with all day long. We're going to see if we can make some money. We're going to see how much money we can make. Hopefully we make a lot. I'm scheduled to go 11-1 here in Martinsburg. I've actually got a delivery at my house I've got to be back for sometime between 3 and 7. I didn't realize it was going to be that late. And I had set myself in the Charlestown market. So we're going to kind of be rolling the dice that once 1 o'clock hits, I'm hoping it's busy enough in Martinsburg to stay on, or maybe Uber or GrubHub or Instacart will pick up the slack. We'll find out, and we'll see. But right now, as you can see, Instacart isn't busy. Shipt isn't busy in my area. And let's see, Hagerstown. Yep, no, nothing. So nothing much is going on in there today. It looks like with the shopping apps. And then you've got Uber, and then you've got GrubHub. So what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to take everything offline right now, take a little break. And then about 10:45, I'm going to come back out here. You can see it's about 10:26. I don't know if you can see that in the background or not, but or up there. I guess you can see it on the phones. And I'll come back. Oh, wait a minute. Looks like we're red. Maybe we're not taking a break. Here we go. Let's get on there, actually, and let's see. We will turn it on, and essentially, I'll stay around the house until it gets a little busier, and if an order comes, we'll consider taking it. But hey, we're live on DoorDash, we're live on Uber, we're live on GrubHub. We'll see what happens and go from there. All right, guys, I'll be talking to you soon, and I'll be back to go over the first order. All right, guys, Dad Dash here, and wanted to come back with you and update you. Got back on the road. As soon as I was leaving my development, I got a GrubHub order for $12.66 going to Taco Bell for 3 miles. So obviously, that's $4 a mile, guys. That's a no-brainer. You don't even got to calculate it. It's going to absolutely be valuable enough. And if we get it done in the time GrubHub wants us to get it done in, we earn an order value of $27. And I believe we're going to get it done even faster than what GrubHub wants, because we're only 6 minutes from the drop-off, and it's only 11:27 a.m., and they want us to drop it off by 11:48. So, great start to the lunch hour. We'll see what happens. I'm back up on Uber. I turned Uber on since we're about 6 minutes out, and then I'll get DoorDash fired back up. DoorDash did send us one offer before I turned it off. It was $5.50 for 6 miles for Jersey Mike's, but we shot that down right away. So I'm going to focus back on getting this order delivered, and I'll come back in, go over the final stats with you, and hopefully I'll have another order to report. So like I said, not bad at all. Also a report on the Uber Eats order from earlier. I got additional tip, and this was a legit additional tip, because this was not an $8 max. The customer added it in. I told you there was some extra work I had to put in to make sure he got his order. He must have appreciated it. So it does happen, guys. They do add tips at the end, and Uber does a good job of pushing that and giving the customer that opportunity. So it worked for me this time. I got an extra $3. So this will put us at basically about $23 so far for today. And trying to crack that first 100 out early. Would love to get it done before the end of lunch, because I don't know what I'm going to do for dinner, or how much of dinner I'm going to get. So if I could get what in the world? That person was right in my lane. Jesus. That would be fantastic. So I will be back soon with an update, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, guys, Dad Dash back here. So made that delivery with no problem. On the way to the delivery, I got a $7.25 DoorDash order for McDonald's. Now, I'm up in this area. Unfortunately, when I'm in this particular area, it's McDonald's, it's Taco Bell, it's Popeyes, it's Wendy's. I call it the Island. There's like a sushi restaurant and a pizza place as well that's up here. There's really 2 sushi restaurants actually that are up here, and then like 2 pizza places. So, and then a Mexican place. But when you're up here, this is going to get me moving in the other direction. So it's going to actually move me down, which is what I want. So I went ahead and accepted it. This McDonald's normally has their act together during the lunch hour. Dinner time gets a little hairy sometimes. So I'm getting warned now by DoorDash. They want me there at 11:41. I'm moving in the direction of the restaurant, but for whatever reason, it's not picking up that I am. Whatever, it's DoorDash, and they love to do their little pseudo threats. Anyways, I'm gonna head over to the restaurant, get this picked up. this will put us at $30 once we get this done. And then maybe there's a little extra, maybe there's not, who knows, we'll find out. If there is a little extra, that would be fantastic, that would be great. And it'll put us over 30 bucks. Otherwise we'll be sitting at about $30 and it's not even 12 o'clock yet. So that's a good sign. And hopefully we can get a good, strong follow-up order, as we will be in better position to hopefully start getting a little better quality orders. You know, maybe some higher paying ones. I'll be looking also closely at Instacart, Roadie, see what's going on there, see if there's anything decent to bid on Roadie, or if there's something to pick up on Instacart there, you know, in the double digits. So we'll go from there. All right, guys, I will talk to you soon. I'll be back to update you and talk to you in a little bit. All right, guys, Dad Dash here, and I wanted to go over the drop off there with you for McDonald's. So customers waiting out front, got that order dropped off. Before I even got there, I got a GrubHub order for $10 going 5 miles, although it's going to be probably really 7 miles, because I actually had to drive. I had about 1.5 miles to go to get to the customer's house when I accepted it, and I had to drive those miles backwards to get to the point of acceptance. So anyways, we are on our way to the restaurant. Red Lantern it is. It's $10.96. So we did not get more than $7.25. We got $2.25 base, $5 tip, and you know, got a face value payout. So of course our GrubHub will be a face value payout, but this will put us at about 40 bucks. So we're flowing nicely. We're keeping busy. We've had almost no gaps so far, knock on wood, since we've begun our lunch. So for that, I'm very happy. And we'll see if we can keep it going. Now, the only negative side is I'm staying up in this area. But if I'm getting work, if I'm getting orders, I don't care where I'm at, as long as I'm getting good value for the orders. And, you know, we'll see how this all turns out. But like I said, good news is we're at about 40 bucks. My goal for lunch had been to get between $50 and $75 was where I wanted to land. And we're definitely heading up in that direction. So that's really, really good. Of course, we had $9 to begin. So if we hit 60, then we've hit we've hit the bottom end of the lunch goal. If we finish anywhere from $60 to $85, we're going to be good. And right now we're at 40. So hopefully we keep the flow going. Hopefully we keep getting good orders. And as always, I will be jumping in, updating you throughout this process. So far, the iPhones are doing really well. The iPhone update, and again, every time I use these iPhones, I get good order flow. And of course, you can never know whether it's iPhone or whether it's just a good day, and that's perhaps a frustrating thing. But I consistently get good order flow, and it makes me really believe that there is an issue with connectivity when it comes to Android, and that you're not always getting the strongest amount of connectivity. Although I've had really good days using my Android, and I love being able to use the helper apps and all the functionality. It really puts me in a bind, because of course at heart I'm an iPhone user. I love iPhones, and when I see the iPhones performing well, it's like, gosh. But you know, Samsung has made a believer of me in the things they do, the multitasking, and I don't think I'm missing orders. That really wouldn't make sense, but I just feel like these phones are sending out signal and staying on the radar better than an Android phone does, which I think sometimes goes into like a sleep mode, or just isn't showing up in their system as available, even though it's showing available on our screen. And you've got to, you know, there's a lot of constant background updating you got to do, clearing cache, different things like that. And sometimes I think, you know, there's stuff going on in the background that is causing issues with availability to get orders. And it's very important. The more order flow you have, the better you're going to do. I mean, just bottom line. But anyways, guys, enough about that. I'll keep you guys updated. We'll talk about it at the end. I'll give you my thoughts and reflections, and we'll go from there. Talk to you soon. What's up, guys? Dad Dash back. So wanted to let you know we did get another order. I didn't get a chance to come in right away to discuss it. But we got a $9 sheets order for GrubHub. So GrubHub's done pretty good so far today. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten anything to follow that order up. I'm sitting down here, in my favorite hub. The first DoorDash shift closed out, and I started a new one 1 to 2:30. We'll see if it's worth it. And then I'll, like I said, around 2:30 or so, I will have to quit to head home and be there hopefully for the delivery of my dryer. Now, what I wanted to do right now while we're sitting here is go over and show you some things, show you some orders. So let me flip you around here. All right, so there you can see we're looking for orders right now. Let's get in here and let's take a look at some things here. So
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, Siri, there we go. All right, so here's the payouts, guys, for GrubHub so far. There was the Sheets payout, $9.01. There's the Red Lantern payout. I'm sorry about that. I'm actually not. This is actually a screenshot. I forgot it was $10.97. We got $12.66 for the Taco Bell orders. So very strong payouts. You can see there the miles driven 5.28, 3.79. and 2.19. So you can see all very solid miles to money on all these orders, very solid order values on all of those orders. And then let's go back here and I'll show you the Uber order. So there's the Uber order right there, 609, and it turned into, this is I'll show you verification here live. There it is. It's 909. But there it is, right there, $5 tip. The tip increased. It was a $2 tip. It went to $5. So, awesome there. And then we've got our sole DoorDash order of the day. Not a very great one, but it was, something. Let's see here. Where's the payout on this thing? Right here. And there's the payout on that one. $2.25, $5. From McDonald's. So that's the sole DoorDash order that we've got today, and that's where we stand. So looking at some of the orders that we've gotten, this is what we've seen. Let's see here, $5.25 for Popeyes, $3.75. I showed you that one. Another $2.50. And then we've got $4.25 for Wendy's. That was one that just came through. So not very busy at all for DoorDash. We'll jump in here for Instacart right now and see if anything's going on. Nothing going on there with that. Roadie. Let's see if anybody's taking. Looks like Roadie has some stuff going on up in Hagerstown. That one's $28, but it's dry. Miles are way too long. So a little bit of activity there. Ship, nothing in my area. So there you have it. Not a good day. Not a very busy day. I mean, it's been steady. I'll take it. We've earned pretty much $50 so far for the day, and I'll take that. I wanted to get to $50, earned for lunch plus the $9 I got. We'll call it breakfast, early lunch, whatever you want to call it, on my path. But at least we're at 50 right now. Normally, if I was going out for dinner, I'd feel pretty good about the day because I know I can do 150 starting dinner at 4 o'clock, which is when I was planning. But like I said, I'm not sure what time I'm going to start dinner because of my washer and dryer, or my dryer delivery. It's not my washer and dryer, it's dryer delivery. So just to show you, this is where I start at, but I'm going to go into Uber. And we're going to see if we can spur on an order right here. There it is. There's Uber right there, cut in and out. And this is on iPhone, the way you kind of reset, refigure, whatever. You close it out, restart it. And we'll do the same thing with DoorDash here and try to do the same thing. And then let's see here what they tell us when we go in here. Why am I not getting orders? And there you have it. This is something that does not show up on Android. So you Android users out there, DoorDash actually will tell you when it's slow. So it's telling you right now it's slow. Looks like we just got an Instacart offer. 11 bags, 15.2 miles, 8 bags. I mean, these are terrible. Wow. But If it was heading in the direction of my house, I'd actually do it just because that would cover my miles, but it's not, and that one is definitely not even going to be considered in the $5. No way. So like I said, very slow day today, guys. Not a lot going on out here. It's a Wednesday. I'm not surprised. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we get hired. We'll see if something comes about. And that's all you can do, right? Stay positive. This job is about waiting, being patient, and taking things that are only worth your value. And if you want to understand value right here, let's take a look at my order values today. So we'll do that. And this is what I'm talking about. $17.59. That was the worst one. Again, I explained to you why I took that one. However, the rest, $50.64, $24.17, $34.64, $36.04. Guys, that's what you got to do. You got to make sure when you're working, it's valuable. And what's my average order value so far today? $29.99. So we're not going to go to work unless it is valuable. All right, so we got a DoorDash order live right here. And you didn't hear the ding ding because it's in my ear. I have an AirPod in. I don't like that at all. That's way too many miles. It is heading in the direction of my house, but I don't like it. We can do better. Order too small, distance too far, boom. So there we go. We decline that. And I mean, look, it's slow, but you cannot give up your standards, because if you do, you're giving up the opportunity when something finally comes and meets your standards. And I understand it's slow, but I've earned $50 so far today. I've only worked, there it is, I was showing you my figures there, 98 minutes. That's it. That's all I've worked today. 98 minutes, and I've made total pay is $48.98. I thought it was $49, but it's $48.98. So there's $50. And, now, there's the bad part, 59 miles. But remember, what you don't know about is the fact that I monetized some of the miles that I was driving and already driving, because I had to go drop my son off at my babysitter, which is a little bit of a distance away. So, all of that got to be included because it was all riding home. I was searching for orders all the way home. So, again, there's a story behind everything. That 83 cents dollar per mile has a story behind it. As you can tell when you look at the actual miles on each individual order, on an individualized basis without carryover miles, travel miles, et cetera, that were there because we were searching for orders across markets and ready to do them. That's what happened. So, anyways, guys, that's where we stand. And like I said, I'll be back. I will be back to go over the next order. Hopefully we get another one, and then we're probably going to call this ride along. I'm not going to do a full day ride along. Dinner I'm not going to worry about. We'll call this at lunch. And I wanted to show you the setup here. I want to show you how I do it. You can see it live right here. This is everything I do. You can see DoorDash is live on this one and this one. DoorDash is mainly up on this one, but I've been swapping between. And then you've got GrubHub right over here. GrubHub, Uber, and there they are. And you just go in between. Let's see if there's anything pop up here. Oh, they're all gone. So there it is, guys. That's what we're doing. So we will see what we can do here. We'll see if anything comes up, and I'll hang out for a little while longer and go from there, because I'm going to eventually get lunch. I'm hungry, and then head home, and then hopefully, like I said, we can get an opportunity to make some money at dinner time and make this day worth it. We hope. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. What's up, guys? Dad Dash here, and I'm coming to you from my home office. And as you know, the last video I was out in the field, I was doing working my final hour, and I wanted to just kind of update you on everything that happened thereafter. And I'll kind of give you an overview of the day. I did not end up filming an end of day. It got kind of crazy. There was a lot of things going on. I'll kind of touch on all of that here in this video as we conclude our day and conclude the ride-along video. So, For the day, we ended up making, we'll kind of hit you with some totals. I ended up making $170.96 for the day. Ended up doing 13 deliveries, $24.60 order value for the time I was out. But the real order value, which is the time I was working, my labor value, or if I went out and said, hey, I worked 300 minutes and made an average order delivery value, or had an average order delivery value of $34.19. Worked 32 minutes an order, had a 72% work rate, meaning I worked 72% of the time I was out. So my market was not very busy, but that's also very important to why you have to pick orders that are going to support you while you're out. I ended up with a average order amount of $13.15. And I ended up driving 148 miles. Now, remember, some of those miles were miles that I was able to monetize coming from my sitter, which is a distance away because that's the situation. And I'm not going to get into all that here, but there's a good reason for that, but it does require me to drive a little bit, so it adds some miles in if I start working right from when I drop my son off. I ended up with $1.16 per mile, and ended up being out for a total of about a little under 7 hours for the day total. So not a bad day at all, in my opinion. Now, when I left you, I had just delivered a sheets order for GrubHub. I'll give you a breakdown of what happened next. So I did do one more order. I did a DoorDash order for Four Seasons Express. It's a Chinese place that was right down in the area I was at. Face value order value on that order was $16.50. Not a strong order value at all. And the majority of that issue was I had to wait in a line, and then there was a little bit of a drive, and I made a wrong turn. And that was really on me. It would have been a decent order value, but the real issue was I made a wrong turn, ended up taking a 5-mile detour the other way, got caught in midtown traffic, and it turned into a disaster. So after that, I went home. As I told you guys, I was supposed to be having a dryer delivered, and it was being delivered by a gig service. And I'm going to get into that experience here in a minute. I'm not happy, and I'm still going to be waiting on dealing with some of that today. But I ended up doing, while in the midst of all that, and realizing that I wasn't going to get my delivery and that there was some shady stuff going on with that, I ended up with a Cinco de Mayo order, which is a Mexican restaurant right near my house, for $11.17, courtesy of GrubHub. GrubHub was a big star for me, by the way, for the day. But I ended up with a Cinco de Mayo order, $11.17, order value of $30.46. Ended up with after I took a break, after I finally got everything taken care of, my first order of the dinner hour was Wendy's for GrubHub. It's a $9.71 order going 2 miles. Wendy's is right up at the top of my hill. They're actually not too bad. I will deliver for them sometimes if I'm just doing a lot of round the way stuff. But I delivered that order for a great order value of $29.13. Then I turned around and did a Bob Evans order for GrubHub for $21.10. That had an order value of $39.56. Then I turned around and got a Little Caesars order, $10.25. It was a DoorDash order, one of the few DoorDash orders I did of the day. And I ended up with a $31.91 order value on that order. Then I got a Spark Shop for $33, all base pay. And that ended up with a $30.42 order value. And then I ended up with a Wingstop order, okay, $15. A little bit of a long wait there, and it was the wait that got me, but I knew it was going to be decent. I was tracking my order value actively while I was in there, and I said if it drops below $20, I'll try to find something else. Never did. I got $24.51 out of it, order value. I was okay with that. And then the final order of the day was a Little Caesars, and that one was a $6.25 order going in the direction of my house. I took it. I went and picked it up. It wasn't ready. I had a little bit of a wait. Ending with a $21.83 order value on that order for the day. And like I said, it wasn't the best order because of the wait. That was pretty much the issue with that. It ended up taking 21 minutes to get done. I needed it to be done in about 14, and I had about a 6-minute wait at the restaurant. So that was my day, guys. It wasn't bad. It ended up not being too bad. I ended up making my $125 that I always want. That's my minimum amount that I want to make in any given day. I ended up working, less than 7 hours in the field, or being available in the field less than 7 hours. And I ended up working really only 300 minutes. Again, you can't argue with any of those figures, because you figure that's what, 5 hours of work, and I made $170. I'll take that every single day. I mean, that's not bad at all. So the key focus here, if there's a key takeaway that I want to say to you, is focus on value, right? Focus on cash flowing and focus on value. I call it support your base and have your minimums, have the amount, understand the amount that you need to fill your bucket with, right? And keep filling that bucket with minimum, minimum, minimum. If it's slow, or if it's this, or if it's that, right? Keep filling your bucket, but keep looking and honing in on your ability to recognize what values you need on valuable orders, understanding your market flow, understanding your restaurant flow, understanding the things that will make you be able to find good and valuable orders, understanding drop-offs and where that puts you, and what vicinity of what restaurants would be in that area, or be close by, or be within a mile or two, so that you could catch orders going to and fro. Sign up on multiple apps. Be willing to work shopping apps, food delivery apps, package delivery apps. Be ready to be available to go and exploit valuable opportunities when they come up. And don't commit yourself to any one particular app. They're not committed to you. They don't care about you particularly. And they have communicated to you that your pay is optional. So make them optional. They're optional when they're valuable to you. When they're valuable to you, you're there with them. If they're not valuable, or they give you an offer that isn't valuable, you're not going to work for them. Period. End of story. You're going to move on and find something that is valuable for your time. And you're going to have a minimum standard of value. You have to have a minimum standard of what you're willing to do when you go out. And you have to understand that if you're focusing on value, that in order for you to hit your value target, you're not going to ever, you should never find yourself going sub $1 a mile, ever. And you really should be focused, and you're going to see, again, if you take out my commutable miles, that really shouldn't be, that wouldn't have been in there, because if I would have just started in my market, if you just look at my market miles, I made $170 probably driving 100 miles today. That's the real truth. Okay. I drove back to my house several times today because of things that I had to do. I had dead miles because of things that were going on, but I was able to monetize all of those because I took orders and did things going in that direction or this direction, so that then they became an expense for me, because I was going to have to drive them anyways. So when you look at it, the numbers you see on this page. They're very solid, because I was able to do all the things I needed to do and still keep my money in line, and still keep my order values in line, and still keep it to where I was making at least $1 a mile for every dollar I was out, even things I was doing and having to do personally, because of how I structured my day and what I was willing to do to get there. So, thereby cutting down the amount of taxes that I've got to pay, and thereby effectively being able to earn money for things that normally it would have been dead expense. If I'd have been working a regular job, those are dead expenses. I drive home, dead expenses. I'm a salaried employee. It's the same amount here or there, whatever. I'm not going to be able to claim a taxable expense on it. I'm not going to, there's no benefit to me. In this case, I benefited from it because of how I was able to do it, and the fact that I'm doing gig work. Anyways, guys, those are the things and takeaways. Second thing I want to touch on, last thing I'm going to touch on, just as an interesting aside, it's a long video. I know it. If you stuck with this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I try to put out, information that I think is valuable. But the experience I want to share, and maybe I'll do a separate video on it to really get into details, is my dryer was going to be delivered by a gig company. I will not talk about the company at this point. I may come out with that when we see how everything shakes out. But essentially, these people had, and again, I was able to see through the maps and everything. It was a map directly to my house. My house is very easy to get to. These people picked up my dryer from the place it was delivered to, because it was delivered to a third party. It was picked up, put on a truck, and was supposed to be here and delivered, and they were supposed to be hauling away my stuff. This is a place that people bid on these contracts and bid on the work. And essentially what these people did is they took a picture of a tree along the side of the road. I saw that they never made it down to my house, never even made it close to my house, which I thought was weird. And I got in touch with customer service immediately. And now they have put my order on unable to deliver because it's an invalid address, which has caused a bunch of problems. And I know, and again, the people on customer service are like, you're right, they've looked up the address. But this was somebody who wanted to game the system, get paid their money by claiming that I did wrong. And it's really inconvenienced me tremendously. And now I don't know when I'm getting my dryer. I don't even know where my dryer is. And like I said, I may do a deeper dive video on this, naming names and showing you exactly what happened as this goes. But that's a very disappointing experience so far. And this is the problem. When we as gig workers don't have integrity, and we hurt the entire community with this stuff, and it's like you don't understand the impact that you're making on the customer until you're the customer depending on someone like this, and you just expect that they're going to take pride in what they're doing and pride in the fact that they are representing them, not just whatever business they're working for, picking up on behalf of, but it's themselves as well. And this is why there's a lot of distrust when you have gig workers out there doing these things, and then you're like, man, and I'm like, I don't even know if I want these people in my house. They're lying on me. They're doing this. I was like, I damn well don't want the same people that picked it up to be the ones delivering it. I don't know. I'll never know for certain. But anyways, it's just a little cautionary tale. Like I said, I may do a video on this, get more in depth. If you're interested in hearing more about the outcome, put it in the comments. Especially if you made it this far, you are one of my true believers, true true subscribers, and I appreciate it. So with that said, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, if you enjoyed the ride along, if you got something out of it, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video with at least one person that you think you're getting value. And as always, I'll talk to you soon, and thanks for watching.